Hi guys, welcome to the Dive In Pod. My name is Sheila.
My name is Lydia.
Thank you so much for being here. Another day, another video. How exciting.
Yay.
Thank you so much for subscribing, sharing and liking. Please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our videos. We love you guys. We appreciate your support, your comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. Today we have another episode and another interesting video. What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about the questions that you should ask when you know the relationship is early. When you guys are just, starting to date and you're figuring things out and you want to know this man them better, right? And
or
see
woman.
if you guys, yes, or woman, right? These are the questions.
At least I'm defending the women, the men this time around.
You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's dive right in.
Okay guys, today we are talking about the questions you should be asking in a relationship, just on the early onset or, when at the beginning, of the relationship. This 2024, we don't want, all the women and men who want to go into dating, we're all about kind of helping you to get onto it by kind of sharing the things you should do.
Exactly.
And also if you're really keen for a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
This is more if you're keen for a long-term relationship. This is from our point of view and we hope, you can mesh it with your own kind of values and kind of find balance. And then when you meet someone, these are the things we think they're important to ask. All right? So the first question, Lydia.
I think the first thing we should talk about is the roles. What are your expectations of me as your girlfriend or your partner?
Yep.
And what are my expectations of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just talk about that first because I don't want to walk into a relationship with you and you expect me to cook, clean, pay rent, drive you everywhere and I don't know.
And give you on what do you call it, like monthly allowance?
Listen, say it quickly.
Yeah.
First, if they're important to you, mention them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's important to know the role your partner is expecting you to play in a relationship as a man or as a woman.
Exactly.
So like, if I'm your girlfriend, like what is my role in this relationship? Like how do you view me as a woman? Because in this modern world, it's no longer like before, whereby it was automatic, like the woman would stay home.
Exactly.
And the dad would be working.
Yeah.
There are relationships whereby now both of you are working, or the women who want to stay home actually. I'm finding actually lately that a lot of women, like personally, I would give anything to just stay home and putting out there and bake cookies for my kids,
Nice.
But like there is a lot of people who now are kind of going back to the way things were done back in the day where they just want to be stay-home moms.
Yeah.
And, and there are those who actually cannot function if both of them work and the kids and whatever.
Exactly.
So it's important, because you could go in a relationship where the guy expects you to stay home and look after the family and look after the household, but you're this career woman who is thinking, I want to be a CEO in the next 2 years. So if you don't talk about it on the earlier onset, once you have kids, it will be a constant fight because he will struggle with the fact that you want to focus on the career when he expects you to focus on the household.
That's true.
So I agree with you. I think the roles are so important.
Let's just stipulate them.
For me, number one is kids. Talk about kids.
Ooh.
Like, talk about even if you want to have kids.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times you just are in a relationship and it's going all well and then oops, you're pregnant, for example. Yeah, for my case it was. Yeah. But I feel like it's important to talk about whether your partner wants kids. First things first. Talk about how he wants to raise your kids. And we'll talk about it in the next point where we talk about the values and beliefs. But in terms of kids, ask this person if they want kids. You will be surprised how many people don't want kids.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, then if it doesn't align with what you want, you can kind of break it off and walk off earlier on in the relationship. But if you're looking for a long term, you want marriage, you're thinking the traditional 2 children family, like 4 perfect American family, they say. And this person doesn't want kids. This person is looking at you as his one and only, and it's just the 2 of you for the rest of your lives. It's going to be a very big challenge to convince them.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who, a guy, he married this lady, and fell in love with her. There was no discussions about all these things we're talking about. There was no discussion about kids.
Yeah.
He even moved to her country, lived together.
Wow.
They're really happy. Their families both love each other. And then when it was time after their wedding, it was like, well, so, what's the next thing? Are we trying for a baby or whatever? And turns out she doesn't want to have kids because of the trauma she went through from working in childcare.
Oh, bless.
So now, this guy had to literally give up the idea or even the future he had in his mind of having kids. With who? With this lady, to stay with this lady. He actually gave up. He was like, it's fine, I love her. Yeah, he said, I love her too much to just leave her because of kids, which bless them. But like, you know what I mean? It's sad because the family of this guy dying for a grandchild.
Yeah.
This guy himself, he said, even when he had to go and have vasectomy and stuff like that, like he kept asking her, are you sure? Like, we only have like 6 weeks before it's permanent. Are you sure?
Oh,
which is so sad. But, I love it for them that they kind of got to agree.
Yeah.
But it will be so sad when you just have to leave someone just because of that fact. So, talk about kids. Talk about the values, Lydia. Like, what do you think about having the conversation in regards to the values you want to instill in your children? Say belief, religion.
Yeah.
How you want to discipline them.
I feel like that's definitely a question that people need to ask. Don't skip it.
Yeah.
I feel like especially for religion, people are very they're a bit sensitive about it, or they find it very hard to put it out there. But if you are a Christian babe and you want a Christian guy, just put it out there and say, you know what, I am a strong believer in this and this and this. This is what I want. Or if you're not a believer at all, just say, you know what, I don't believe in these things. Like me, I just move through life the way I want to move through life, and I want that from a partner.
And my children.
And your children too. And then there are people who, they don't care whether you are a Christian babe or not. They don't believe in anything, and it doesn't matter what their kids believe, So yes, I feel like it's a very important question to ask at the beginning of the relationship. Plus, it will guide, you'll get to know. If you're a babe that's looking for a man who is, little pastor out there, bro, like just put it out there. And if you don't want those things to do with religion and stuff like that, just
for me, I'm more big on the kids. Like, when it comes to children, like both of you are trying to instill these values in your children. If both of you if your values don't align, it's really bad, because you share this child together, obviously, and you want to be on the same page when it comes to raising them, because you can really easily confuse them. When they are home with mom, mom lets them do ABCD. When they are with dad, that is about EFGH. So it's very conflicting. It's very damaging for the child, and it can also cause conflict between you and your partner.
That's true.
Because you'll be like, I don't want my child to be spanked, and you're like, well, I believe in spanking because if you don't spank a child, they become indisciplined and stuff like that. So I feel like, other than just the fact of having kids, talk about that.
That's true.
Yeah. And you know what, guys, all these things that we're talking about, you don't have to be like, do you want kids?
Like an interview
on day one, and so are you going to marry me in a church wedding? You're gonna scare that. Like, it's awkward first, but at the same time, having said, don't ask like that. A man who wants to be with you will stay with you, will not leave you because you are asking these very deep questions.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna run away if you ask them like, like what's, do you want to have kids? Like, I mean, I would be like, oh wow, so this person is serious and this person is looking for a long time.
Yeah.
That's why they're asking these questions. And if someone leaves, bro, let them go. They were not meant to be there.
That's true.
So don't be scared. I find that women, sometimes when they get to a certain age, where they feel they need to settle, the thing we were talking about, age. Oh, I'm getting to 30s, I need to find a man. They tend to go with the flow just because they think once they're married, that's it. But bro, don't do that. Don't trap yourself. You think you're trapping the guy or trapping the woman, you're doing it for yourself. It's going to be really worse.
Really, yeah, I agree.
I think people should also talk about like deal breakers.
Right. Especially that.
Yeah.
That don't fear. Yeah. Just say it.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I think it was where did I read? The act like a woman, think like a man kind of thing. And Steve Harvey was like, just say your deal breakers, things that you tolerate and things that you cannot tolerate. Things that you look at and you're like, this is fine. Like, I don't like it, but yeah, it's okay. Like, I get it.
I can tolerate.
Yeah. And then there are things that you know, like, you know, someone does these things. And it's a really big thing in this country.
Yeah.
Like for me, one of my biggest deal, just an example, okay, is smoking.
Yeah.
That is definitely a deal breaker for me. So I can listen. Yeah.
No. No, thank you.
No smoking, please.
See? And that's something that people do here, like especially in Australia, men and women smoke.
Lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think like, I mean, she doesn't mind, you know? But for her, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
That's a very good example, Lydia.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that it's something that everybody does.
Yeah.
Like, you know, don't normalize, like, don't just accept things because everybody's doing
it. Yeah.
Or don't think the person sitting across the table will be like, yeah, cool, because, you know, yeah, I wouldn't stand smoking too, no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk
deal
about your
breakers.
deal breakers.
Yeah.
Earlier on or just at the beginning of your relationship. Yeah. And if there's sometimes you meet someone and you think, oh, that guy's so cool. And you're sitting across them on a date and then they start saying things, telling you stories about themselves. And probably the stories they're telling you, they could be telling you stuff like, oh, you know, me and my boys do this, for example, drugs or whatever. And, you know, they're sitting across you and you really like them.
Sad.
Just be open about it. Be like, look, I'm not cool with it. I don't think you and I can whatever. And just don't let the liking this person kind of overshadow your values.
Yeah.
Because trust me, in no time it will come out. And when it comes out, you won't like it. So just be open about it.
Be open.
Deal breakers, guys. Ask about the deal breakers.
Yeah. That's it.
And with the deal breakers, also talk about the things that you think are inappropriate for you in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy that, say, if you're in a relationship, the things that are inappropriate for me are not for you?
That's crazy. And it's not even that there are actually things that are inappropriate in a relationship. You know, people think, you know, you're in a relationship, we should gel. No. We should just be gelling completely.
Oh, be nice, but like, it's good to realize it's not always the case.
And plus, you're two very different people.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how long you're in a relationship.
Yes.
You know how long
two
you've been.
individual people that are so different and trying to be together.
Exactly.
Yeah, so talk to each other. You know, there's someone who will tell you that, say for example, they find swearing very, very inappropriate, even in a conversation.
Yeah.
Even when you're upset, like if you saw at them, it's like.
Yeah.
But then you here, maybe you come from a background where, you know, the F word is, when you're angry, every second word is F.
I know.
You know, and it's cool.
It's not even when you're angry. There are people who just swear. They don't need
even the good times.
Motivation.
I mean, when they're happy, they just swear. Oh, yes. So it's important. I feel like it's important to talk about those things because
about them.
They can either be deal breakers, isn't it? They can even fall in
exactly. They should also even talk about lifestyle.
Oh, yes.
Especially the fact that you're living in a first world country. Yep. Let's talk about our lifestyles, bro. Like, what do you do with your time? Yeah. How do you
What kind of a lifestyle do you want to live?
Exactly.
Like, maybe you want a house by the water and and this person who's sitting across you wants a country life, a quiet country life with some chooks and, you know, a cow and sheep and whatever, you know.
Why do I feel like you're talking about yourself?
I love that. That's my kind of
life. She's like, oh, with chooks.
Yeah. And my little girl can be running after the chooks.
That's funny.
That's my dream.
Oh, bless.
I love the country. But, like, you know, you could be with someone who wants to live in the middle of the city, in a rooftop.
In a penthouse.
There's pool at the top, you know.
They just want
what do you call
those
sirens? Suspended pool or whatever they're called. Yeah, so, you have to know. You have to ask to know. Don't assume things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh? Love languages.
Hey, you know what? About that, I was listening to a podcast, and I don't know whether it's a good thing to ask on the first date, of course. Not on the first date, like, you know, early onset. Yeah. But then I don't know what your opinion, like, tell me what your opinion is on the fact that there are some people who believe that, I think there are 5 love languages, that you need to find a partner who your top 3 need to be compatible with his top 3. Or else things will clash. I heard that like it was not long ago, probably a week ago.
Look, for me, the thing is, right? I don't think that's a thing for me. Like I feel that's a bit much, because love is like my love, like you knowing my love language is like knowing the things that make me happy and make me feel loved, right? So you can try and maybe do them, say them, incorporate them in our life.
Right.
So if our love languages if they are not the same, for instance, I don't see if there's a problem with that, because then it's something I do for you and it's something you do for me. Isn't that, or am I getting it wrong?
No. I feel like that's how, essentially, that's how...
It should be, isn't it? For example, I like, my love language is like, gifting or cooking or whatever. And your love language is, for example, for you, it's time or physical touch. Like, I do stuff for you that make you feel loved, and you do things for me that make me feel loved, right? Like, I don't think it is something whereby we have to be, like, it's not bad to have things in common, but when it comes to love language, I don't think I agree with that.
I think the clash comes in when it is, because you come from a point of giving. I feel like the clash comes in when it comes to a point of taking.
Or receiving.
Yeah, because maybe for me, it's physical touch. Like, I want somebody to be there with me 24/7. I just want to feel you and know that you are there. But then for you, it's acts of service. Me, when I want you to stay with me here and feel me, you want me to you want me to be, I don't know, cooking for you and doing stuff like that.
But isn't that what a relationship is really about? Like, accommodating each other.
Yes,
because if we have, like, if that's the case, then we create time for each other to do things for each other. For example, if you know that I love going for road trips and that's how I feel loved, for example, or I love you to cook for me, you find time to cook for me. And if you're finding time to cook for me, it's not necessarily that time when I want you to cook for me is the same time you want me to touch you. So that is so wrong. But you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't agree. They shouldn't be the same necessarily, because listen, honey, if your love language is gifting and mine is gifting, it doesn't mean we gift each other at the same time every day.
That's true.
Does that make sense? It's not like I come home and I go, honey, I got you something, and you go, oh, honey, me too.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I think I don't think they should be like. It's not bad if they are the same.
Yeah.
But funny enough, even if they are the same, chances are they're not exactly the same.
Exactly.
Like, I could be, for example, you could like love gifting, and I love gifting, and it's my love language. But for me, I want you to gift me things like trips and experiences. You're into watches and jewelry and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's an interesting.
It's interesting. Like that podcast, I'll send you the podcast here. I'll even pin it here. You guys will tell me what you think. But yeah, it was an eye opener for me. It was like, wow, the people who actually believe our top 3 need to be compatible, need to be almost the same for us to kind of maneuver this relationship. So
for me, I think I want to have things in common with my partner. Like there has to be some level of commonness. Is there a word like that in English?
Yeah.
Or common, whatever. Like we just have to be common. Like we have a lot of things in common. Yeah, similarity, or just things in common for us to kind of like to go off from there. Because I feel like, and my mom used to tell me this. My mom used to be like, if you want to enjoy your relationship and find a life partner, look at the things you love. Like, it doesn't have to be 100%, but at least 50-60% you have to share.
Yeah.
Because if you both are totally opposite, it's just going to be so hard to gel. But like when it comes to love language, no, I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree.
I found it hard to
What did you think? You didn't tell me.
I think I was just confused. I haven't even thought about it since, but I feel like for a minute I was very confused. I was like, maybe I don't know how to like deliver it the best way, but
the way that person said it.
Yeah. But for them to actually make me think, I feel like they kind of delivered it properly. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway,
could be true.
Anyway, coming back to the love languages, guys, when it comes to the things to ask at the beginning of a relationship. I also wanted to really point out, you don't necessarily have to ask someone about their love languages. You can actually just observe their actions. Like,
Right.
like this is not something you ask, say, on a first date.
That's true.
It's something where you interact with a person, and then after a period of time, you realize, oh, this person likes this. So, loves eating good food.
Yeah.
How about I go an extra mile and invite them and cook for them, stuff like that. So, I just wanted to point that out when it comes to love languages.
Yeah. One, I think this is, I don't know whether it's too much to ask.
Yeah.
But I feel like you should ask, okay? Just be courageous and ask.
What?
What is cheating for that person?
It's not too much to ask, honey. That's, you have to, well, I feel like it's not something you ask on day one because they'll be like, kwani nimecheat already?
I know,
cheated.
or
Do
you
I look
already-
like I'm going to cheat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but you should. Because let me tell you, there are so many forms of cheating. I was listening to this podcast and someone was saying, if your man is chatting with another woman, like just chatting, hi, how was your day, whatever. It's someone you probably don't know, whatever, but they are talking about their day, what they had for lunch, how was work today.
Details.
Is that cheating?
That is what? Yeah.
See, someone else will be like, well, no, so long as there's nothing sexual, anything about it, I'm cool with it. Me personally, I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the difference. There are some people who think, for example, what do you think? Like watching pornography is not cheating.
It is.
In a relationship.
I feel like it is. I feel like if you're in a relationship, you guys can just be as open as possible and say, you know what, I'm into this kind of thing, or like, what do you think? I feel like if you're in a relationship, you should be vulnerable enough to actually say, this is where I'm at, or this is what I want us to introduce to our relationship, or something of that. Like,
see, that's an example. Another person said, I would not want my man to go to a strip club. Is that cheating? If your man went to a strip club, is that cheating or not cheating?
No, this is the part. No. See? This is the part where I say. This is the part where I say I'm single, bro. I don't know.
But see what I'm saying?
I don't know.
In a relationship, like there's you have to communicate what is appropriate, what is cheating. All those things are just important, because maybe I meet you and you're this guy who every weekend you want to do is spend time at a strip club. And personally, I think that is so disrespectful, because why would you do that?
Why would you go
and maybe your ex-girlfriend used to even go with you. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like conversation, guys, communication.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just everything, really.
There's even financial cheating, bro.
Hey.
You are there at home cooking for this man. This man is out there buying all the girls at the office coffee. Huh? You guys want coffee? Yeah. Oh, I'll buy the girls coffee, of course. Girls, you want to go out for lunch with me? Yeah, of course. I'll buy. I'll pay. So your man is out there paying for things for the girl then.
And therefore, there's no takeout, you have to cook at home because we are saving. My friend,
listen,
that's financial cheating.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about anything called financial cheating.
Yeah, there's that. It's a thing. It might not be anything sexual, like your partner might not specifically want somebody for sex or something, but it's just that when it comes to money, he's very quick to like dish out the coins,
and to you not.
And to you,
or
not
to
really, or not for the family.
That's just crazy, man. Like, that's just crazy.
It's crazy.
So yeah. Also, communicating when in trouble or busy. Like, you know how life can get so busy. I feel like you should talk about what communication means to you. There are people who don't care if you communicate good morning and good night.
Exactly.
There are people who want you to like check on them here and there during the day. There are those who want you to talk to them every second of your day.
Exactly.
I woke up, I had just had a shower, I'm having coffee, I'm just hopping out of the door. I
feel like when a relationship is new, that's what people do.
Yeah,
they talk all the time. They're like, okay, I'll just go to the shower and then I call you back. And then the guy's like, no, just call me in the shower.
But also, the worst thing is, you start a relationship like that, right? Which is, it's the exciting time.
Yeah.
Everyone does that. And then at some point, it stops either completely or just becomes weird, you know? Yeah, I think it's important to talk about how you communicate with each other when you're mad, when you're angry, or when you're busy. You know, like at least, like like flick each other and be like, look, I'm having a busy day, but I hope you're okay. I'll call you later. Like, so I know you're busy.
Exactly.
Like, I just feel like, touch base. But not everybody does that. So guys, if you're keen to date this 2024 and you're looking for a wife, long-term partner,
please,
or a husband, ask these questions.
Ask them.
They will save you so much trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can apply these things in even friendship.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ask, but observe.
I remember, like,
ask.
this is just an example of, like, is cheating, like, what is cheating?
Yeah.
So there's this guy who asked me, like, if you found me at a club, like, found, that means I didn't even know he was there. All right. If you found me at a club and you saw this girl named wind up on a brother, is it cheating? Like, is that a form of cheating? And I just remember, like, thinking, I'm like,
Of course. Well, if we are in a relationship, it's cheating.
Yeah, well, how come I didn't know you are?
But, like, I feel like there's just respect. There's, you know what? Like, once you're, I don't know, but once you're in a relationship, like, personally, I wouldn't be doing. There's things I wouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
When I was single, there's things I would just don't care and do. But when I'm in a relationship, why would I be whining at someone else when I have
know.
my man? Like, what the? Like,
right? And that's what I said. I was like,
and you know what I do, I expect of him. Like, if I don't do stuff, like, at least this is how I go about it personally. Yeah, but I love it how I go about it. For me, if I don't do something, if I before you do anything, think about it this way. If your partner was to do it, how would you feel?
Exactly.
That will just give you an answer whether it's cheating or not.
I know. I know.
Because it's easy when it's you doing it. Yeah. But when someone else is doing it, you want to be like, that's not nice, I don't want that. But if you were to go to a club and whine at someone else, like if he was to do it, you know what I mean?
I know.
So ask yourself those questions. How would I feel if, say, my partner was chatting with someone else? If you were the one chatting with someone else and being like, after he knows him, it's not a thing, it's nothing. Listen, if he was chatting with someone you know, how would you feel about it?
Exactly.
Flip it like that.
Honestly, I feel like for anyone in a relationship, especially when it comes to, like, the whole business of winding up on people and stuff like that, listen, if you're in a relationship, if, for example, I'm in a relationship, that boy's friends, all of his crew, they are all my brothers. We will Odi dance.
Yeah.
Forget the wine up place.
We'll go to.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. You're my brothers now. That's it.
I know.
So yeah.
But it just comes down to your own self-respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, guys. So that is just some of the examples. There's a lot in a relationship.
Too many.
There's a lot, but that's just a few. And we hope you enjoyed this video. Please let us know in the comment sections the questions you've ever asked someone and how did it turn out for you. And thank you for being here. We love you. Take care.
Bye.